The year is 1991. The Bapin corn syrup factory looms in the background as young people gather for a party. A girl winds up a Bapin music box, and a clown figure, Frendo, springs forth. She invites her boyfriend into the cornfield, and he follows, but quickly loses sight of her. A massive footprint in the dirt chills him. He finds her, but she's spitting blood, urging him to run before she collapses, dead. He tries to flee, but his escape is cut short. Cut to the present day. Teenage Quinn and her father, Glenn, arrive in Kettle Springs, their new home, seeking a fresh start. Their house sits ominously close to the Bapin corn syrup factory. The next morning, a peculiar boy, Rust, their neighbor, is at Quinn's doorstep, inviting her to walk to school. She agrees, taken by the town's unsettling quiet. At school, Mr. Vern, their teacher, scolds Quinn for being late and assigns her detention. When students prank him with a photoshopped image, he retaliates with a test. Cole defends Quinn, earning himself detention. After class, Quinn joins Cole's group, Janet, Ronnie, Tucker, and Matt. They explain that Mr. Vern is a bitter old man, and they hate him in kind. Quinn learns that Cole's father is the town mayor and owns Bapin Companies, the reason for the annual Founders Day festival, centered around the clown mascot, Frendo. The group reveals their YouTube channel where they transform Frendo into a serial killer for parody videos, boasting 65,000 subscribers. Later, at a diner, an old waitress is kind to Glenn but rude to Quinn. They meet Sheriff Dunn, who reveals the old syrup factory recently burned down. Cole's group arrives, prompting the sheriff to warn Quinn to stay away from them. That evening, the teens party. Quinn asks about the fire. Cole admits they filmed there but denies starting it, blaming faulty wiring. Still, no one truly believes them. Matt steps away to relieve himself and is attacked, his screams reaching his friends. He returns, guts spilled, as someone in a Frendo costume appears. Quinn screams and tries to run, but it's a prank. Tucker in costume, Janet filming. Afterward, Quinn and Cole talk. She reveals her mother died of an overdose last summer, leaving her surgeon father unable to return to the ER. They moved for an opening for a family doctor. Cole sympathizes, sharing that his younger sister drowned last summer. Later, Quinn watches the parody video and is terrified to see a real clown lurking in the background. She sends a screenshot to the group chat. Tucker sees it just as he gets an alert from his doorbell camera showing someone in a Frendo mask outside. He assumes it's Cole playing another prank, but he finds only dirty footprints. He also finds a Bapin music box in his closet before the scene abruptly cuts away. The next day at the Founders Day festival, Quinn, Ronnie, and Janet talk about the second clown, and they suspect it might be Rust. Cole shows up and reveals they have a prank planned. A guy in a Frendo mask on a unicycle does a fire trick, but it goes wrong and sets the main Frendo float on fire. Sheriff Dunn blames the group and arrests them. While in jail, an old man cryptically warns them not to mess with Frendo. After being released, the teens try to go on with their lives. Matt is working out when he sees a music box, but he tosses it aside. Frendo appears and uses a handsaw to brutally murder him with his own barbell. That night, Cole texts Quinn, inviting her to a party. She sneaks out, taking the Bapin music box Cole gave her. They encounter Rust, who has just hunted a deer, leading to an awkward exchange before they drive off. At the barn party, Janet and Ronnie wonder about Tucker and Matt, suspecting a prank. After dancing, Cole and Quinn head to a shed to hook up, but Cole is uninterested, making Quinn feel foolish. Outside, Janet and Ronnie smugly tell Quinn that Cole rejects everyone. Suddenly, a girl screams from the cornfield, an arrow lodged in her back. The others think it's a prank, but a masked head is hurled at Janet. It's Matt. Quinn is scared, but Janet still insists it's a joke. Quinn checks the girl's pulse, she's dead. Panic erupts. Frendo bursts from the cornfield, and students rush into the barn, leaving Janet, Quinn, and Ronnie stranded. Frendo relentlessly fires arrows. Rust arrives, blasting the killer with his shotgun. They try to call 911, but there's no signal. Frendo slashed tires and drained batteries. The teens try to unmask the killer, but their hearts sink as more Frendos emerge, each with a different weapon. Rust shoots one, blowing off its hand. Another Frendo lunges at Quinn, but Cole appears, knocking it out with an iron bar. They run and escape through the barn as the frantic Frendos chase them. Meanwhile, Quinn's father gets angry when he realizes she left the house without permission. Elsewhere, Cole's friends hide in a small shed, with the Frendos outside knocking on the door and laughing like crazy. One of them tries to break the wooden wall, so Rust uses 2 of his last 3 bullets to kill him. A disgusted Cole scolds him for wasting the bullets, but Rust unexpectedly accuses him of abandoning him. Here, the girls are shocked to realize that these two boys were gay. They later notice a drain they can escape through, and Rust suggests they use fuel to distract the friendos. Elsewhere, Glenn is searching the entire town for his daughter, and as he passes his clinic, he notices a burglary there. As he runs inside, a friendo presses a knife to his throat, ordering him to treat an injured friend, threatening Quinn's life if he refuses. Back at the shed, friendos are breaking in. Rust stays behind to set a fire as the others enter the sewer. The clowns are hit by a huge gasoline explosion, while the teens safely emerge. Rust is missing. Cole wants to go back for him, but the girls suggest going to the Tillersons for a landline. They reach the main road and spot Sheriff Dunn, who, seeing the bloodied teens with a gun, immediately arrests Cole. He ignores their pleas about the clowns, driving off and leaving the girls stranded. With no other choice, the girls re-enter the cornfield toward the Tillersons. Another friendo, wielding a chainsaw, chases them. Ronnie is captured, and the clown drives the chainsaw through her. Horrified, Quinn and Janet flee. They reach the Tillersons' house, finding a lifeless clown slumped in the living room. They find a phone but can't use the rotary dial. Their hearts sink as they see a bulletin board filled with their pictures and old newspaper clippings about brutal teen murders. A Bapin music box on a table reveals it's a trap. They rush downstairs just as the clown attacks. Quinn bravely pulls a pitchfork from Janet's body and drives it into the friendo. Both the clown and Janet declare their hatred for Quinn before dying. Distraught, Quinn grabs a car key and flees. Elsewhere, Glenn disconnects cardiac detectors, fakes panic, and orders another friendo to hold a defibrillator. The friendo drops his knife, and Glenn grabs it, stabbing him in the neck. The man dies. Glenn hears someone on a walkie-talkie ordering Quinn be brought to the Bapin factory. Quinn tries to drive away, but it's a stick shift. A group of friendos appears, abducting her. She awakens in the abandoned corn syrup factory, surrounded by friendos. They unmask, revealing townspeople, Sheriff Dunn, the diner owner, the waitress, and Mr. Vern. Their leader, the mayor, Arthur, appears. He explains this is a century-old tradition. Townspeople dress as friendo to target teens who tarnish their reputation, like those who party and drink. Arthur pulls back a curtain, revealing Cole, hanging by his neck. A horrified Quinn asks how Arthur could do this to his son. Arthur coldly disowns Cole, blaming him for his sister's drowning. Sheriff Dunn raises his gun to shoot Quinn, but Glenn crashes in with his car. Amid chaos, a friendo's head is crushed by a cinder block. The waitress is impaled on a pipe. Glenn rushes to help Cole but is shot by the sheriff and collapses. A panicked Quinn locks herself in a room filled with friendo costumes. Sheriff Dunn breaks in, firing blindly at mannequins. Quinn grabs a cattle prod and drives it down his throat, ending his life. Cole, precariously supported by Glenn's car, asks his dad if he orchestrated the factory fire for insurance money. Arthur smugly admits it, then speeds away in Glenn's car, leaving Cole hanging. An injured Glenn tries to help, but can't hold on. Rust unexpectedly arrives, using his shotgun to cut the rope, freeing Cole. The two boys reconcile and kiss. Quinn arrives, and the four survivors climb into Glenn's car. Since it's a stick shift, Glenn guides Quinn on how to drive. They're stopped by the final friendo, Mr. Vern, with a chainsaw. They decide they're done running. A year later, Quinn prepares for college. Glenn campaigns fiercely to be mayor. Rust and Cole see Quinn off, giving her a baton for protection. As Quinn drives away, she sees a Bapin music box, implying the nightmare might not be over. She tosses it out the window. The film ends with this scene.